woman who worked on a super yacht for the uber-rich has revealed grueling conditions and sexual harassment pushed her to the brink of suicide. Melanie White, 30, worked as a chef sailing the Mediterranean, the Caribbean, and the Arctic. Melanie worked as a chef on board a super yacht credit, Instagram, Melanie White. She claims grueling schedules and sexual harassment pushed her to the brink of suicide credit, Melanie White. Melanie worked 18-hour days for 11 months straight while she was at sea credit, Instagram, Melanie White. She has now opened up on the harrowing experience in her book Behind Ocean Lines, The Invisible Price of Accommodating Luxury. Melanie discusses working 18-hour days for 11 months straight while she was at sea. She also shared the moment a man touched me without my consent and claims people weren't shocked it had happened. She said, on Anchor, "When a man touched me without my consent, I experienced loneliness and fear on another level. I told 2 people what happened. It won't surprise you that they weren't shocked. They didn't give me sympathy, and I didn't want it, but they did support me." She landed the job in her 20s with the help of boyfriend George, who was working as a commissioning skipper. What was at first an exciting opportunity to escape corporate life, soon turned into a nightmare and left Melanie feeling suicidal. In her book she wrote, "I'd slipped underfoot in the mud that reeked of depression into another pit. Surely this isn't what it feels like to be suicidal? The severity of this final, desperate word suicide scared me to such an extent I turned the heat of the shower up to scalding hot to use as a deterrent from my own mind. This was it, this was rock bottom, and I was adamant that if I uttered this terrifying thought to anyone, I'd never be given a chance to claw myself out and approach the problem with the resilience and willpower I knew I was capable of. I didn't want medication or doctor's appointments." On $1 million yacht, Melanie said the conditions were so unbearable and expectations were too high. She said she worked around the clock to make sure she avoided being. From the captain. Becoming dangerously thin and suffering from a kidney infection due to a lack of fluids, Melanie was forced to fly home and was put on antidepressants. The chef, who is now a mum, said the job made her a shadow of her former self. Even though she's in a better place, Melanie said it doesn't just happen overnight. Now based in London, she hopes to help others by raising awareness of mental health. Her book can be bought on Amazon. If you are affected by any of the issues raised in this article, please call the Samaritans for free on 116,123. Melanie said the job made her a shadow of her former self credit, Instagram, Melanie White. The mum now wants to help others credit, Instagram, Melanie White.